How goes it? How goes it? How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys having a great and exceptional evening. Do the great three free things right now: like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully, you guys having a great and exceptional evening. All right, now this is basically a rant tonight. I usually do my rants on Instagram tonight, but I figured, hey, let me do it on YouTube and Facebook Live instead of Instagram Live, and just go from there. Now, the media. I'm not a big fan of the media because, as a lot of people know, and hey, it's a free country. You got the freedom of the press. It's a beautiful thing in the United States of America. I'm not talking about the media in a negative text to the where it's just like, oh, they all suck and all this other good stuff. But their job is to basically keep people in fear. One, and that is a big pet peeve of mine because when you're in fear, when one is in fear and one is constantly unhealthy, it's easier to be controlled when one is living life in that manner. And whether you're watching CNN, whether you're watching Fox News, whether you're watching MSNBC, whether you're watching your local news channel, beautiful. The main thing is for them to keep you not only in fear, but their job is to basically control even what you eat, as far as where you want to live and things of that nature. And a lot of times, too many people. I feel like previous generations, not my generation as much, as far as millennial generation and the generations coming up after us and whatnot are so immersed because, and I think it's because the beautiful thing is because we are the first generation to have not only just books that thought outside of the box, but we are the first generation to think outside of the box um, when it comes to actual um, having be able to listen to podcasts, other thought people's train of thought, people who are not working for major networks, people who are not their sole job is to just follow a specific script of the network. No, their script. The beautiful thing about podcasts, even myself, it's like I'm not following a network script or government script. I'm following my script. And that's the beautiful thing of the United States. You have the freedom to do that and whatnot. And I'm doing that right now. There's a lot of countries you can't do that. You get shut down. You go to China or Russia, you say something that the government doesn't agree with, they shut you down. So that's the beautiful thing about the United States of America. But I will say with all sincerity is that one of the reasons why living to me listening to the media can kind of, and this is why I have the map of the United States behind me, can kind of screw you in a sense, even financially in a standpoint. If you see the map behind me, I'm just going to get to the meat and potatoes of it all. You see the East Coast right here. You see the West Coast over there, the most expensive parts of the United States of America. Now, but now in today's world, in the southern part of the United States, city of Atlanta, city of Miami, city of New Orleans, city of Dallas, city of Austin, and Houston's right behind them. Those are becoming the most expensive cities in the United States right now. Even Nashville, Tennessee. Now, the reason why I'm saying listening to the media can get you this, um, this is basically, if you like, great example. I have family members who live in the Northeast, from the Connecticut area to New Jersey, New York. Those are some of the most expensive areas, highest tax areas in the United States of America. Hands down. Not going to disagree with that. But if one has owned real estate in that area for the last 20, 30, 20, 10 years, 40 years, whatever, they are sitting on a gold mine. Especially that, because a great example. So many people that have owned real estate in those expensive areas slash dangerous areas were able to sell or even take equity out of their home and move to the income tax free states like Texas, like Florida, and even Georgia, and the Carolinas and whatnot. And they were able to come with cash in hand. And that's was able one of those things that drove up the freaking real estate market, especially with the low interest rates during that time, because now we see that those interest rates are going up. But we got to see people coming down there cash in hand, and because of that, that helped make and obviously that in combination with the lack of supply helped drive the cost of real estate up in those specific areas. And that's something that I don't think is talked about enough because the media right now, all they want to do is talk about the White House, Russia, Ukraine, the White House, Russia, Ukraine, the White House, Russia, Ukraine. So, and then your local media does a wonderful job of scaring the crap out of you, telling you to stay away from certain parts of certain areas. I'm from the DMV area, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Northern Virginia area. I'm from the Northern Virginia side of the Potomac River. Growing up, DC was quote unquote one of the most dangerous cities in the United States of America. Now, DC is quote unquote one of the most expensive cities in the United States of America. I have a family member who will remain nameless who still owns his mother's house in Washington, DC, which she bought back in the day for like 40, 60, $70,000 or whatnot. Now that house is basically worth $800,000 in the city of Washington, DC. So by him, the family, not him, but the family members not listening to what the media is saying, get out of DC, get out of DC, the crime rate is horrible, blah, 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 blah. He's held on to this real estate. And, I think every day or every other day, he has somebody trying to buy his house. And I believe the number he says, well, let's start with 1 million and we'll go. The bidding starts at $1 million and we'll go from there. Now, bear in mind, the house is paid off for it too. So all he has to worry about is the property taxes and the insurance and whatnot. And of course, when he says that, they look at him like it's crazy, but he could get that and more. That is the power of real estate. That is the not even just real estate. That is the power of ownership. Because I don't even mention the amount of people who will sell a franchise off or sell a mom and pop business off um, because it's in an area that's valuable and an area that people want to live in and whatnot. Whether it's people immigrating there from other countries or just going there from other parts of the United States. That is the power of not listening to the media. And that is the power of going with your own gut and doing your own research and whatnot. To me, and I know I'm going to sound like a jerk when I say this, but I'm just going to keep it real. In today's world, the people that are, and I'm not trying to insult anybody, but this is just my opinion. I'm just going to keep it real. In today's world, people that just want to watch the news only and not do their own homework when it comes to an area, when it comes to the business, when it comes to the education, you are intellectually lazy. And I'm going to put it like that because for me, being intellectually astute is for one to always be curious and always want to learn something new every single day because that is my goal. But one of the biggest problems that people face is that they want to listen to what the local media or national media is talking about, and they're just going to go off of that, and it makes it feel all good and warm and fuzzy inside. As I get older, I have less patience for useless information, and I look at watching CNN, watching Fox News, MSNBC. I always call my Denzel Washington reference from Training Day. I look at it as basically entertainment. How factual the information may be, maybe half, maybe other half, half factual, other half made up or just manipulated. Because even mentioning Denzel Washington, he made a statement that was quote unquote very controversial, but very real, very real. He said, if you watch the news, you're misinformed. If you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. That was one of the realest statements I ever heard, and I could not agree with that statement more. But in today's world, and a world of more independent thought, one could do their own research, and one could even physically go to a specific location. Great example. So one of the most crime-ridden cities, New York, Newark, Philadelphia, Detroit, Washington D.C., Los Angeles. I'm just leave those cities, even Miami. The areas that were known to be the most dangerous cities in the United States of America are now one of the most expensive cities in the United States of America. Even the city of Detroit. I know Detroit had a lot of issues and whatnot, but now Detroit is having a big comeback, and you got more people moving back to the city. You've had people buy real estate for pennies on the dollar, and now the city is not 100% to capacity, but it's starting to flourish. Chicago, 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 Chicago. Let's talk about Chicago. You know me, I got to get my lemon water in. All right, let's talk about Chicago. Now, because and before I even get to Chicago, here's my thing. When some entity or some person is always talking about something from a negative perspective and they never have anything positive to say about it, I have to question it regardless of the situation, whether they're coming from the left, the right, up, down, sideways, all that's irrelevant too to me. If it's relevant to you, then good, but to me that's irrelevant. Now, if somebody's always talking about something negative and it's never positive, one thing I could say about the United States of America, if a place is that bad, and I'm going to be realistic about this, if a place is that bad to live in and whatnot, to the point where it's so dangerous, like it is to the point where it's basically like a war zone in a foreign country and whatnot. I would imagine if the country cares enough or the state cares enough, they would send in the National Guard to clean things up. All right. But the way that that really works and whatnot. Chicago is a city that is being heavily gentrified. It's been heavily gentrified for years and whatnot. So I implore you all, even unfortunately, as bad as the violence may be in Chicago, if you own real estate in Chicago, if you don't want to live there anymore, keep the property, rent it out. Because trust me, what your grandmother, grandparents, grandfather paid for, your parents paid for, and whatnot, it's going to be double or triple that within the next coming years. Mark my words on that one. I'm saying this right now because to live, because great example, because everybody always loves to talk about income state taxes and no taxes and all this other great stuff. All I can say is compare Miami, Florida, with a no income state tax to Washington D.C. and in real estate prices, they're running neck and neck. Because in the United States, that's how they get rid of excessive crime, is by just raising the price up to where, quote unquote, working and poor people can't afford to live there anymore. That's been done all over the country. And even in Los Angeles, the cities where it's hard to even gentrify, it's places where it's mostly houses. That's one thing. Like, unfortunately, unlike New York, LA has mostly houses, not major apartment buildings and whatnot. New York has the tallest apartment buildings in the country and whatnot. So, and most of the people that live, majority, I'd say 90%, 95% of the people that live in New York live in an apartment. All right. So it's easier to gentrify a city than with multiple apartments and whatnot than it is for a city that has more houses than apartments. When you go to Los Angeles, there's more houses than apartments. So, and a lot of people, especially back in the day, they bought those houses, and a lot of people just passed down from generation to generation. Case in point, my friend James, who's from South Los Angeles, he resides in his mother's house because she retired to move to Arizona because it's a cheaper state. But she bought that house back when he was a kid, back about $65,000, $70,000. Now that house is worth $700,000. Need I say more? 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom house, $700,000. Minutes away from downtown LA. Minutes away from what is it? Minutes away from the Inglewood Stadium. Minutes away from the LAX airport and whatnot. He's holding on to it because he knows the value of it. Now, because people keep saying, "Well, why don't you leave California?" Because everybody's leaving; it's so expensive and whatnot. He's like, "Yeah, but I'm living in a house I don't have to pay a mortgage on. I'm paying the personal property taxes and I'm paying the insurance and whatnot." He's like, "So I'm paying less. If I move to another state, I have to buy another house, and then I actually have to deal with a mortgage and whatnot." He's like, and I can. He's what he's done is he's taken equity out of that house and whatnot, so he has equity lines of credit, and he's gone to I believe it's Nevada, Arizona, and Texas to buy real estate. And with that money, he's quadrupled his income. One, he's got more assets now. Two, and three, since the houses are in his LLC and whatnot, he's able to write off a lot of things on his taxes and whatnot. Am I giving out financial advice? Absolutely not. What I'm saying is, when there was Crips and Bloods walking around his neighborhood and whatnot, he still stayed. When the media was saying everybody needs to get out of South LA, it's a cesspool, it's a nightmare, he stayed. And that's the point I'm getting at. And now the house from the 1970s, 65, $70,000 is worth almost $1 million and projected to be cost even more so in the future. Even though LA has its problems, don't get me wrong, but that is my point. He blocked out the noise from the media. He listened to his gut. He did his own research and his homework. He took advice from the appropriate people because they had his best interests at hand. 9 times out of 10, the meet Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC does not have your best, basically intentions for your best interests at hand and whatnot. So their intentions are for what their networks are for. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, but it's all about your life. You are the CEO of your life, so don't let anybody dictate the terms of your life as much as possible. Do what you can do for yourself. All right. Another case in point, because so many people have left New York City. Now, to the people, like I said, with New York, it's a different monster because to the people that own homes in New York, and kept and helped and basically held their homes for all this time, because a lot of people started selling in 2020, 2021, 2022 because they got tired of the strict restrictions that New York State and New York City imposed on people. It just got to the point where businesses were shutting down and people just couldn't take it anymore. They didn't want to live in a place that is overpriced to where they couldn't go out and enjoy life. I get that. I understand that. But I'm saying kudos to the people who did not listen to the media and listen to the people around them and they held on to the real estate, and they just say, okay, now's the time to get out. That's the beauty of holding on to things. Okay, it's like, real estate in the sense is like the stock market. There's a time to keep it. There's a time to let go of it. But letting go at the best time, you buy low, you sell high, and that's what a lot of people have done. And because of that, now they're living in the South, or they might be living in the Midwest and whatnot. They're living a better life. They have a bigger home, and life is a lot better. And I'm not mad at that. But like I said, I like because I really had to hit this point home tonight because um people love to immerse, try to suck me into the portal of, oh, did you see what happened with the media headlines were? No, I did not, because I'm not trying to be entertained by reality TV and whatnot. I'm the CEO of my life. I'm the king. Either you're the king or the queen of your castle of your life, and you got to make those executive decisions. Do not let Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC make those executive decisions for you. I implore you all to not do that, because a lot of people have lost out big time economically because they did not. I mean, heck, even not investing in crypto currencies and whatnot, because people weren't doing their own homework, and they were listening to what the news was saying half the time when it came to investments. A lot of times you missed out on these things, and sometimes just doing that independent thought, independent research, it works out in so many different ways. But a lot of times people don't want to do that, and it's unfortunate because, like I said, listening to the media can keep you in fear, make you scared to even want to make a decision in life, and or make the wrong decision in life. But that's what the media can do for a lot of people. Now, not to say that they don't ever um broadcast great news. I'm not going to say that that never happens, but I will say with all sincerity is that their job is they have their agenda, they have their narrative, and that's fine. But if when one doesn't have the critical thinking skills to watch something from an objective standpoint, and say, even if you're watching me and be objective, that's fine. From an objective standpoint, and say, okay, I agree with this, but I disagree with this, and we go from there. Okay, that's fine. And here's the crazy thing: it's not the end of the world if you disagree with somebody. I implore people if you disagree with me, fine. Let's have a healthy conversation. It doesn't even need to be a debate, because I'm not a politician. I don't debate people. I like having healthy conversations. If we agree to disagree, that's great. But you know what? Life still goes on. Because sometimes people get a little too emotional when it comes to having a good conversation, as I like to call it, because they're mad because you can't see something their way, and that's fine. It's not the end of the world. If the world really truly didn't see things their way all the time, then you wouldn't even talk about Ukraine versus Russia. The real world war would be happening now if every country that bordered each other wanted to blast and kill each other, and they acted on those thoughts every single time. There would be no peace in the world whatsoever. So that's my take on that. All right. But that is one of the biggest things. Do your research, do your homework, go to a place. You know, I've never been robbed in DC. I've never felt threatened in DC. Okay. Heck, I got robbed in Virginia years ago, a decade ago and whatnot. And I grew up here. So you can get robbed anywhere. Okay, don't let the media fool you into all this crap, because it's the funniest thing ever. They like to report, especially they love to report stories about crime that happen in specific areas to make people want to do two things: move out and never go there. And then all of a sudden that area has a Whole Foods, then all of a sudden that area has a Starbucks, then all of a sudden the houses start looking better. I wonder why. Mark my words, Compton, California will be looking like Inglewood, California, very soon. And it's the same thing. People talk about how bad Philadelphia is, but Philadelphia is being heavily gentrified, and nobody talks about that enough. Mark my words. People love to talk about Baltimore. Let's talk about Baltimore, one of the cheapest cities in the United States, because of the crime and the craziness that has happened within the city. But if you've been to Baltimore recently, by doing your own research, you see that there's a lot of development going on. You see there's a lot more industry that has come back to the city, and you see a lot more houses being rebuilt on a regular basis. That's another city. Baltimore is going to be looking like Philadelphia from a real estate standpoint within the next 5 to 7 years. And Philadelphia is going to be the cost of living in Philadelphia is going to be looking like Washington D.C. in the next 5 to 7 years. Mark my words on that. All right. And it's not, you don't even have to take my word for it. Do your own research, or heck, just go there yourself and see it for yourself. You don't even got to believe me, see it for yourself. And that's the beautiful thing. That's why I'm like, yeah, you don't have to believe me. See it for yourself, because this is the God's honest truth. And this is what's people. A lot of people are going to miss out because they don't want to do their own homework. Okay, they don't want to do their own research. It just doesn't. It doesn't work. You know, it just does. It just does not work. I cannot. I cannot put it any other way. But anyways, on that note, family, I'm about to call it a night. I just wanted to give my perspective on that one. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about today's media? Are they always in the right, or have they kind of lost their way when it comes to reporting the news? Do you think more and more people are going to lose out on so many great economic opportunities by only listening to them only and not doing their independent research? Let me know, because it's very, very interesting. And we're going to see where this thing goes. All right. So, on that note, family, do the great 3 free things: like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully, you guys have a great evening. Don't forget to check out my online store, support your local businesses. Thank you for the Cash App and the PayPals. It's always greatly appreciated for supporting the channel. And also, if you're a crypto investor, stock market investor, individual retirement investor, bunch of links in the description. You can sign up for free, and you can obviously get up to $5 to $20 worth of stock, or you can get up to $900 worth of stock when you sign up for WEBULL as well. All right. So hopefully you guys have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. The weather for the most part is going to be decent throughout the nation. So have some fun with your friends. Have some fun with your family. Life's too short. I always say make money move, so you don't live like a fool. But one of the biggest money moves you can make is enjoying your life with your loved ones, the people you love being with. Life is too short. That's one thing the last 2 years have taught me on that one, family. All right. So I am definitely out of here. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you're having a great day. If you've been watching Larry's Anything Goes programming, you know that we are not only providing great financial intelligence content as much as possible by interviewing other financial professionals, professionals in the travel industry, real estate industry, etc., and so forth, but we provide various services when it comes to specific products that we sell, from anything that you would actually find on Amazon or actually at Walmart, etc., and so forth. And we are actually providing specific products due to today's current crisis and whatnot, to ensure that we provide the right services and products that you need at a reasonable price when it comes to medical face masks, when it comes to hand sanitizer, and when it comes to latex gloves and things of that nature, and etc., and so forth, toilet paper, paper towels. But we have what you need. Also, family, don't forget that Larry's Anything Goes is a part of an affiliate marketing network known as Gold Standard Partners, where you have the opportunity to buy cryptocurrency and allow others to invest with you as becoming an affiliate marketing partner. And obviously, if they purchase a package with the program, you're able to make money off their package purchases and make money off of their crypto purchases and things of that nature. If you want to join, please follow the links in the description, and I'll give you a call as soon as you sign up and purchase a package, and we'll go from there. But definitely, it's all about the best way to make money moves is to have currency with one another, and to ensure that currency is always being spoken of on all levels, so it benefits everyone and not just one specific person. That's a lot of things that people forget about. So think about joining the program, and we'll be able to go from there. But if not, either way, it's always appreciated. And thank you for watching, and hopefully you guys have a great day and continuously make money moves so you don't live broke like a fool. Take care. As you can see, with our various products, we have our financial apparel, as you see, wearing There's Anything Goes t-shirt, financial intelligence is sexy, face masks, latex gloves, things of that nature, to obviously ensure the safety of you and your family all at the same time. We want to ensure that you get the best products and see the actual products that we're actually providing for you, and giving you another view of not only the shirts and the medical masks, but actually another view of actual latex gloves and the actual hand sanitizer, because one thing we've learned throughout this unfortunate crisis is that we have to take more precautionary measures to ensure not only the safety for ourselves but for our families, and having a great pair of hand sanitizers, latex gloves, and medical face masks will ensure that safety. And with all that being said, hopefully you guys will check out our online store. We have the various products that you see here. With a couple of clicks, especially if you're paying via PayPal, it makes life that much easier for you to purchase our various products, especially during this unfortunate situation. You see the apparel from LarrysAnythingGoes. We have the medical products when it comes to hand sanitizer, latex gloves, medical face masks, and things of that nature, and various other products. So please check out LarrysAnythingGoes. Support small local businesses. We greatly appreciate it, and hopefully that you have a good day.